All right, so good afternoon, party people. I'm going to use this time to piggyback off of a conversation I had with Michael Jordan fans are the best, that squad, and we talked about softness versus toughness in the case of one Mr. LeBron Rufus James. Anyways, I strung together a series of clips to illustrate, dirty versus hard foul versus cheap foul versus just being a punk and kicking people out of the arena for a reason that you probably made up. So bear with me here while I try to, or I should say, I'm going to speak of the third person, while Speed Mention tries to break down the difference between being tough and being dirty. All right, let's see how this goes. I'm not even going to bother looking up the time and date of this game. I remember seeing it live, and the first thing I thought is Jason Tatum really just jumped up and chest bumped LeBron after dunking on him, and all LeBron did was kind of turn and suck on his mouth guard and then make this weird Play-Doh face. Nothing happened. No reaction, no get out of my face, nothing. But let LeBron dunk on Yusuf Nurkic or Matt Love and this this shoulder shrug this and adjust headband that. Just something to think about. He had nothing to do or say with Morris brother and Tatum right in his way. He had every opportunity to do or say something or even stand up for himself. 22nd of 1997, Game 2, the conference finals, Bulls versus Heat. You see here we have a hard foul on John Crotty, who I had never heard of, but by Rodman, who I hope you've heard of. And as you can see, he is kneed somewhere between the chest and the neck. And does he fall and flail around like a fish? Or that robot from RoboCop 1, the big one, the boss one, after he falls down the steps? No, he doesn't. He gets up, immediately gets in the cockback position, and throws the ball at Rodman, like someone with some guts would do. And this is an example of, is it dirty? Yeah. But it's also showing toughness. It's showing grit. It's showing the ability to stand up for yourself instead of crying to the refs. And I'm not talking about anybody specific. Just for the sake of comparing and contrasting, we have here Mr. James going to the paint against the Raptors. As you can see, there is a ton of contact there that would fling a lesser human being probably into space. We have two examples here, one against the Raptors and another against his nemesis Dillon Brooks, in which Dillon Brooks uses a UFC type maneuver to dislodge LeBron and fling him to the ground. And there is much visual proof of all of this, as you can see. Up next we have Celtics Pistons, in which Bill Laimbeer gives Larry Bird the clothesline from hell. I'm guessing he invented it way before The Undertaker or his brother Kane. The point is that he gets up immediately, or rolls over immediately, and begins to retaliate. There's no fake death. There's no smelling salts. There's no injection of whatever that chemical is that makes your heartbeat slow down to make it appear like you're dead, so people will think you're dead. It's just straight reaction. Next we have what is basically a light version of a dirty play from number 6 on the Lakers. As you can see here, he throws out his elbow, gets Siakam in the face. Magically, it's a foul on Siakam somehow. The dirty part, well, there's two dirty parts. Well, there's a few dirty parts. Firstly, This man needs to shave his head like I did, like all the other greats did. But I'm going to get to that in a second. Secondly, the elbow, while it's subtle, was enough to get Siakam off of him, even though Siakam did embellish a little bit. Third, you can see LeBron actually grimace like it's his elbow that took the shot. And this was in order to draw the foul, and of course, it worked. Alonzo Mourning in the 90s was the man in the paint. And he dropped the people's elbow basically on Scottie Pippen. And you can see that knot on the top of his head. Does he take out his phone and call 911 in front of the whole crowd? No. Gets up, complains, points at Alonzo, goes on about his day. One of the major takeaways from this highlight that I wanted to point out was that, Alonzo Mourning was known for being a tough defender. I don't really think people called him dirty. He jumped at everything that went at the rim, and Pippen was just there and an opponent. So Mourning's going to take the hard foul. That's tough. That's not dirty. I don't care what you say. Well, it's an opinion. I still don't care what you say, but that's tough defense to make sure the guy doesn't finish. I'm going to end this video with something that hits a little closer to home. As I mentioned, as a bald man, I take it with pride, mostly because I can't afford to do anything else about it. LeBron's a billionaire and has the nerve to come out looking like that and claim he doesn't care what people think about him. So not only is that soft, in my mind, it's basically dirty. Like, you're doing yourself dirty. You're doing yourself a disservice by not shaving your head. You try to take jokes and make jokes about it, but deep down inside it hurts you. Look at greats like Alex Caruso. He walked around just like he did for like an entire 2 seasons. And then that man decided to come home, but at least he was able to walk around looking like somebody that may or may not own a conversion van, and he was perfectly cool with it. Because I'm tired of editing already after so much time, I'm going to close this thing out with one of the biggest acts of non-toughness I've ever seen live, and that was seeing LeBron escort a referee over. I think he literally grabbed him by his arm, pulled him over, and had fans kicked out of the game for saying something supposedly about Bronny. I mean, this is a nuanced situation, of course, but I have to believe that there are fans that say much, much worse. And I do not see them getting kicked out very often. So to me, I'm guessing they must have attacked Bronny or LeBron's character, and it struck a chord with LeBron. And next thing you know, these fans are getting kicked out. That's soft. It's soft because whatever they did, unless they're throwing popcorn at you or hot butter on the floor so you can slip on it, they're not hurting you, especially if you claim that you don't care what anybody thinks. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. The adrenaline that I built up from listening to the Rocky IV soundtrack is just about gone, so if you stuck around for the whole thing, I certainly appreciate your time, appreciate your attention. Like and subscribe. Until I think of a better closing / ending, Beam Engine out.